They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of display. Hey everybody, what's up? Been a while. I haven't posted a video in a while, but I thought about it, the last few days before the new year. I just had to drop something, and I want to start out by saying I want to thank everybody, man. I want to thank everybody for, making 2020, something special. You know what I'm saying? A lot's happened, but I want to thank everybody on here that's shown me some support, that's shown me some respect, and that's come into here. We've talked, we've built, we built a community of like-minded individuals. We've talked. We've tried to help each other out. We've talked, had conversation, man. 2020 has been a wild time, because of Conan 19. Shout out to RPM. He calls it Charlie 19. I call it Conan 19, the Destroyer. You know what I mean? It's changed a lot of things on life, and in actuality, it's opened a lot of can of worms. I plan to do a video on, the effect of Conan 19 and how, we're in a Conan 19 era. It's kind of like you got to look at the before Christ, and you got to look at it before COVID and after COVID. We're in the after COVID aftermath. And, I know a lot of people, some people know about the Spanish flu and how this is very close to the same protocols that happened there. They wore a mask during the Spanish flu and all that, but this one's different, man. But what I want to do, I want to leave you guys with a video that would hopefully help you out, help you start 2021 on the right track. This video is going to be about live for your existence. Stop chasing trends. Yes, that's what it will be. Stop chasing trends. This is going to be a double feature. It's going to be, one part of the video is going to be about chasing trends. And the other part of the video, I got asked by my boy C1C.1 a while ago. It's going to be about, raising your children, in a broken family, where you have 50-50 custody, limited custody. So let's start on chasing trends. What you have to do, man, and you got to take this and heed these words. You have to stop chasing trends. You got to understand that, and I'll title it, you can only chase trends. You can't live for them. You got to stop living for trends, man. What I mean by that is chasing that next trend, your wardrobe, basically designing your entire life based on trends. What you got to understand is that chasing trends is about actually ignoring your own life. You know what I'm saying? You're living for that trend. So you'll spend your money, the way you'll live your life, you'll base it all on these trends, So, if this pair of jeans is hot right now, it's the number one hot trending thing, you're going to base your life around that, these trends. And the thing is this, man, you can't live for trends. You can only chase them. And while you're chasing them, you're basically losing out on your existence. And what I mean by that is this. Let's check it out. So if you were in the 90s, you were chasing, let's say, the Sidekick, that phone. Then the 2000s hit, you're chasing the iPhone, the Samsung Galaxy. You're chasing all these things that change, that are constant fluctuation, that change. And guess what you're doing? You're ignoring your existence. You're ignoring how you live. You're ignoring the fact that you don't have any money for a rainy day. You're ignoring the fact that you're investing in things that are not stable. You know, you're placing your fate, for example, you might have made investments in a house, you know, but you don't own the land, you know, because you're chasing trends. You're not focused on your own life. You see, the trends change, man. You know, the current brand of clothing might be hot now, but it might not be later. It might be replaced by something new. You know, Gucci wasn't always number one. There was Versace, there was all these other brands. So you guess what? So you pile up and spend all your money on Gucci right now. Next few years, a new brand called Veretti's or something pops up. Now you have to sell all the Gucci product you had so you can now be part of the trend and invest in Veretti's, you know. But guess what you haven't invested in? You haven't invested in, you know, your retirement, having things ready for your retirement. You know what I'm saying? You haven't invested in yourself. You know, a lot of people are chasing trends and ignoring themselves. As time changes, your body changes, your needs change, and you have to prepare for that, you know? Yeah, so basically, while you're chasing trends, you're ignoring yourself. The body changes, man. You got to understand that your needs and what you require to live change as you age, but trends never age. You know, the newest car, the newest brand, those things do not change. You, on the other hand, you're gonna require other things in your life. You know, so you have to learn to stop chasing trends. You have to look in the mirror and look at yourself. You have to place yourself as the number one topic and number one trend, you know, and you gotta delay and stop investing and chasing these trends. Because, for example, I touched up on this before, but check it out. You bring a guy from the 80s with that huge phone. You know, he spent a lot of money on that huge portable phone. Then you bring him in the 90s. Now he's got to spend money on that phone. Then you bring him to the 2000s. He's got to spend money on the smartphone, 2010s, 4G and all that. But guess what he's not spending money on? Preparation for his retirement and, you know, what he'll be doing when he can't work anymore. So you chase trends until as you chase these trends, you're ignoring your own well-being. And eventually you can't chase trends anymore. You know, at some point you become 50 years old and you can't wear the latest pair of pants, this and that. You know, even if you can, it's not investing in your health and your current state of your well-being. So, you know, that's the thing with chasing trends, man. When the more you chase trends, the more of yourself you ignore. You know, you ignore your current standing in life. You ignore, because here's the thing about trends, man. Trends is kind of like religion in a way. You know, you have to be faithful to the next trend. You got to keep chasing it. It doesn't matter whether you're poor or this and that. You have to keep chasing these trends. So trends eventually become a religion because you're faithful to it above everything, no matter what. You're going to keep chasing these trends. You know, be it a clothing, be it the shirt, be it the vehicles, be it the housing. You're always gonna need to chase the trends until the day you die. You know, that's the level of devotion a lot of people get stuck in when it comes to the latest trends and so on. You know, so what you have to do is realize that while you're chasing these trends, you're ignoring yourself. You're ignoring your well-being. You know, and while you ignore your well-being, you start to fade. Your health starts to fade. And then one day you realize I have all these trends. Because one thing COVID did, one thing it did, Conan 19 did, is that it made a lot of people understand that these trends will not keep you alive. You can't eat your trends. You can't eat the latest pair of shoes when, you know, you're on lockdown. You can't eat your brand new car when you're on lockdown that you paid for, you didn't need. You can't eat your new cell phone when you're on lockdown and you don't have food. You have to focus on the number one trend. And it ain't the trend of consumerism. It's that trend of your well-being. It's your body is constantly changing and you have to adapt and prepare for that. You invest in everything in trends is actually you abandoning yourself to whatever fate lies. It's you abandoning yourself and betraying yourself to blend in to match with the latest trends. So that's what you got to do. You have to, for the sake of your well-being, you have to focus on yourself and what it takes to, move and live on the next trajectory of your life as you age. So that's one thing you got to understand. You chase these trends, it requires a level of religious devotion. The latest shoes, the latest this, latest that, it will always change. But what your body needs, the basics, shelter, food, resources, and such to stay alive, that never changes. And you got to prepare for that. Now, the second half of this video is about, I was asked by C.1 a while ago. You have children and you have limited custody. Let's say you have limited custody or shared custody, you know, and you don't have access to them 100% of the time. The question for you as a man becomes, okay, I know I'm losing them. I don't have 100% custody. I can't provide, and I can't provide that protection. You see, a lot of men talk about providing money and food and all that. No, protection. The biggest impact you'll have on your children is that ability to provide stability and protection. Them knowing that when something goes down, they could run to daddy, for safety and support. And now that you have shared custody, 50-50, whatever the custody is, some of y'all are on even scheduled custody. The question for you becomes, what do you do? How do you provide that stability? You have to understand this, and I'm going to tell you this. You have to subtract 50% from the 100% you're given. What I mean by this is you have to understand that everything you share with your children, only about 50% or less will stay with them, because you having 50-50 custody or shared custody actually affects their mental state. It's basically, we can't fully rely on our father, you know. So they mentally start adapting like that, and they mentally and subconsciously prepare every time they meet you to lose you. That's what that 50-50 custody does to your kid. They know they can't they can't rely on you as they should. So they're mentally, when they come meet you, they're preparing to leave you. So you have to understand that you with your children, only 50% or less of what you're going to teach them or try to give to them mentally is going to stay there. They're going to lose that, what you're offering them, that knowledge or that sense of protection. You got to understand that sense of protection is gone. Once that sense of protection and ability to rely on you 100% of the time, them knowing they have access to you 100% of the time is gone, you're no longer going to be able to provide that thing that only a father can, and that's that protection, that support. So you have to understand, once you have shared custody, that your children go in like the access they have halfway. They don't go in vested 100%, because they know if they were to do that, they would lead themselves to a level of pain. They come towards you with 100% effort. They understand that you're going to leave them. That's the agreement you have with their mothers, that you're there 50% of the time or less. And you have to understand they're as invested as that. So what do you do? What do you do to make the best of what you have and have as much impact on them as possible? You have to understand, you have to be honest with them. You got to understand that the glass has to be maintained at 50-50. As in, you have to keep the glass half filled. What I mean by half filled is that you have to keep 50% of the information they have and share between their mom and you is equal. What I mean by that, a lot of fathers, what they do is, the mother will come to them and say, don't tell the children what's really going on, and you're gonna hurt them and this and that. And what the father does is he keeps, by him not telling them the truth, now the glass, their mind can be absolutely filled with what the mother's given them. So you remove that aspect of critical thinking. You remove that aspect that you're supposed to give them. Your children are 50-50 you genetically, and they need 50-50 when it comes to their mental growth. So you have to be honest with your children. When they ask you what's going on, you don't curse out the mom and all that, but you tell them exactly what's going on. You be honest. You keep that level of honesty, so when they go home, since over 90% of the custody is rewarded to the mother, right or wrong, so when they go home, they have 50-50 of your mentality. So if they're at home, you got to understand, over 98% of the women that have custody will be filling your children's mind with negativity about you. And if you're not filling your children with positivity about you, eventually their mentality's gonna overflow with the negativity that their mother is giving them. So what you have to do is always keep that 50-50. You gotta look at them like a cup. You know what I'm saying? And your, let's say the mom is Nestle, the mom is the water, and you're the powder or whatever. You have to keep that 50-50 balance. So when they go home and the mom's filling them up with your dad's a bum, he's a deadbeat, he's evil, he's this, he's that. They have aspects of your mentality in them, since you were honest, to deflect that and fight it. Like, when she's cursing your name, bad mouthing you, the children will be, no, that ain't my father. You know what I'm saying? My father is nothing like that. I don't know why she's like this. I don't know why she's bad mouthing our father. He's done nothing like that. You giving them defense, man. You have to give your children knowledge of you so they can defend you. And not defend you as in fight with their mom or nothing like that, but mentally they can build a level of defense in your honor, your character. So when their mom is at home spitting lies about you, they can mentally defend that and not allow that to take root in their heads to the point where they start believing what she's telling them, which will leave you destroyed. Another thing you have to do after you fill them up with 50-50 of your truth is that truth about what's going on is you as a man have to stop. You can't give them rewards, for nothing. As in, just because you're so grateful to have them in your custody that you spoil them, You know what I'm saying? You spoil them and you turn them into you turn them into they validate you versus you validate them. As in, it's a reward. Look, Dad, just us coming to see Dad, he's given us all this and that. He's given us all these gifts where our validation is that important to Dad. You're giving your children the power. You're giving, when you spoil them, you make them the key perspective of validation, and you can't be doing that. I know it's gonna hurt you, man. I know, since you only have limited custody, you want to give them the world at that moment, but you have to act like they're always with you. So you got to treat them. They got to earn it when they're in your presence. You can't just give them anything. They have to earn it. You still have to instill in them that character. You can't allow the lack of you being with them at 100% cloud your judgment to where you spoil them. And once you spoil them, you create something where they don't value who you are, and they don't value the discipline you could give them. It becomes, well, when we come see him, we're so special that he'll give us anything. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing is, you turn this into an arms race between you and the mom is getting child support from you, so she'll always have more resources to give them stuff. Or if she doesn't, she'll explain why she doesn't, and she'll fill up with some lies. So you have to, when your children are in your presence, you have to treat them like they're always there. You got to make them mentally feel that, man, even though we get to see dad only 2 days in a week, he's always thinking about us. It's like we come back to a story and continue it. You know what I mean? It's not like, when we leave, he only cares about us when we return. No, when the kids see that you're disciplining them, you're still giving them discipline, you're still teaching them and so on, they'll value you even more, and you can feel that character in them, that honor that you bring as a father. So you have to avoid spoiling your children, because, man, I got them tonight. I have to make them. No, you got to make the most valuable thing is being in your presence. You know what I'm saying? You giving them that discipline, that training, that building of their character. That's what you have to do. You can't spoil them and turn it to an arms race where it becomes, man, whenever we come near him, he's got to validate us more. He gave us a PlayStation 5. Now he's going to give us an Xbox Series X. He's going to take us on this trip, that trip. You can't make them coming to see you an event based on what you'll provide and pay for. It has to be, man, we're going to spend time with our father. We still got to earn his respect. It's like, we still have to be his children, you know. Now, another thing you could do, a big thing you could do, and to instill that father figure mold to them. Remember, you're operating on 50% or less. You have to take your children on a trip. You got to take them on a trip where they have to be under your supervision and protection. As in, take them on a camping trip. Take them somewhere they can rely on your father. The only thing you can do that their mother can't, and that's that protection. A lot of men on here like to talk about provide. Well, the mom could provide more if she's got a better job than you. If she's getting more money, her job plus the paycheck plus the child support. You know what I'm saying? Plus the alimony. She can out provide you, man. You got to understand that. You could be out provided, but the thing she can never give your children is that protection. You know what I'm saying? That feeling of we're with our dad, he'll protect us no matter what. So what you have to do is coordinate a trip. I'd say most likely camping or a long travel, long ride or something where they have to rely on you protecting them and rely on you knowing where they're going. Maybe it's to a farm or something like that. Somewhere they can see you being their father, being that protective figure, being that role model. That way you could instill that in them. They go home You got to understand the danger, man. These kids go home, they sleep in a household without a father there. When they sleep in that household without their father, they do not feel absolute protection. If something happens, what's going to happen? Their mother's going to protect them? No, that becomes, man, someone's going to hurt our mom. That does some psychological damage. So what you have to do is when they're in your presence, make them feel protected. Make them feel the only thing a father can give them the most is protection. So you take them on a trip. You take them on a location where, cabin, something where they have to rely on what you provide as a father, which is protection. That's what you got to do. You got to take them on a long trip, something, I'm not talking Disneyland. You don't take them to places where their mother can duplicate that. Okay, we're going on a trip to Disneyland. Okay, mom could do that. We're going here, we're going to the roller coasters. Mom could do that. We're going to a nice hotel. Mom could do that. You got to take them to a place where they have to rely on what you can provide as a father, which is protection, direction, and discipline. So you got to take them fishing, take them boating, take them anywhere where it's all about them looking to you for courage and encouragement. So you could build what you can of their character when they're with you. You taking them to these little trips, driving or, going driving carts and all that. And another thing you could do too is build things with them. You take them somewhere where we're going to put these toy cars together. We're going to build them from scratch. You have to take them and do things with them that their mother wouldn't do or couldn't do, which is protection and lessons on building. Maybe go someplace where, what I'm saying, you gonna take them to an auto factory for fast cars where you'll teach them how to rebuild or change gas for a fast car, or trucking. You take them somewhere they gotta rely on that manhood that you provide as a father. That's what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? When you have your children, always reinforce that protection, that authority that you can provide as a father. So when they go home, they're missing you because they're missing what you could provide to them as a father. It ain't just you, oh man, I'm going to take them on a trip that their mother could duplicate and replicate. No, you have to take them on a father. When they're with you, they have to be on a journey with their father and what only their father can provide. That's what you have to understand, you know. So when you take them on a trip, take them on that trip, man. Another thing you have to do, this one's controversial, whatever, but you have to keep chasing opportunities, man. I hear a lot of fathers that'll say, I stayed on this state so I could be closest to my children. You have to understand, you have to still chase an opportunity, you know, even if it means you got to fly to see them and be there with them once a week or once a month or whatever. You don't want to ever have to look your children in the eye and say, you know what, I gave up these opportunities for you. You got to understand that's a false narrative. They didn't ask to be born. You're the one who brought them into this world. So you're the one responsible for your own decisions. You can't look at your children and say, well, I went broke because of you. I had to stay close to you guys, so I didn't chase these jobs. I didn't chase these careers. I didn't chase to better myself because of you. Look at that. You're blaming your children for your lack of ambition. You know what I'm saying? They didn't ask to be born. You have to always remember that. You're the one who brought them into this world. With whatever their mom is, you brought them into this world. You're responsible for your decisions. You can't blame them. You can't limit yourself because of what happened between you and the baby moms, their mother. You can't, if you got to go to another state, if you got to go to another country for the best opportunity, you go there. You do what you have to do and you come see them and you stay in contact. And when you have them, as I previously mentioned, you have you have a journey with them and trips that only you as a father can give them. But you have to, and I've seen a lot of guys in this community where they'll say, oh man, I stayed close to my kids. I lost these jobs. I lost these opportunities, like it's the kids' fault. You know what I'm saying? The children never asked to be born. You brought them into this world with all the family court. You created all these issues. So you don't blame them. You chase the best opportunity, even if it's overseas. You know what I'm saying? It's best that your children see you're successful in optimizing your success so you're a better example. Remember, they're going to keep getting filled with negativity by the mother. Oh, he's a bum, he's this, he's that, he's horrible, he's terrible, and this and that. And you're going to reinforce that when they come see you and you look down because you're not chasing the opportunities. You have to better yourself, man. With or with, you know what I'm saying? You have to better yourself. It don't matter if you're far or close. You could talk to them with video chats. You have to succeed. So one day when they want to lean on that success or they want to talk to you about success, you're an example of that. There's a lot of men I see on this whole manosphere where they're limiting themselves. I gotta stay close to my kids. No, that ain't helping them in the long run. You staying close and you working a less job and you not reaching your potential isn't helping them. That's actually you teaching them to settle for less. You know what I'm saying? You have to teach them, man, I still, even I still reached my goal of being the best I could. And I tried to, I've done my best with what's going on with the custody. Because you have to understand, if it isn't your fault that the divorce happened, and here's the thing, I'm going to be more detailed. What I mean by your fault, you weren't hitting their mother. You weren't fighting. You weren't having domestic disputes. You weren't doing nothing. You provided. You came home. There was food. There was shelter. You know what I mean? What's the problem? All their life wasn't that. They teach you about this crap because we live in a consumeristic society. You're a failure as a husband because your life is in a routine and it's normal and the same thing happens all the time. That's what most people should pray for. Is most people want is to have routine, a life where they're not running up and down. Everything's the same every day. You come home, you eat, you chill with your children, chill with the wife, whatever. That's how it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be, man, we went on vacation, so we're struggling to pay rent. No, dude, it's supposed to be about routine. Your children in a healthy household need stability and routine. Those are the priorities. Back in, if you look at shows in the 50s, the parents went on vacation every 2 to 3 years. They'd go one place because they're saving money for their children's education, and they have backup money and stuff like that. That's what you have to do. So if you did that, it's not your fault. It's her fault that she chased this whole consumeristic dream of, we gotta go on a vacation every day. We gotta spend, 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 and not be prepared for a rainy day with our children and truly invest in our future. She got caught up with that dream. That ain't your problem, man. You know what I'm saying? And a relationship is at where it's at. You have to move on. And you have to move on and pursue what's best for you. And what's best for you is what's best for the children. Once you're a success, they have access to success. You don't limit yourself. I see a lot of guys always limiting themselves. I got kids, I'm going to stay on this state. No, you're limiting yourself. They need access to you at your best, you at the highest level of success. You already lost. If the thing is this, you men gotta understand, if you don't have 100% custody, you've already lost them. Everything you're doing is just trying to make up for that, trying to spend time with them when you can. And these are your children. You don't have access, full access 100% of the time, you've already lost. All you're doing now is, when they're within your presence, you're giving them the best of you possible. That's how you gotta look at it. I'm giving you the best. I know I see you once a month or 3 times a month, but when you see me, you're going to see the best and most successful version of me possible. That's what you gotta do. You can't have your children, you can't blame your children and use them as oh, I'm anchored to them. I can't go chase these opportunities because, I'm split up with their mom and I have to stay close. No, you don't have to stay close. You stay close to success and opportunities. Those children need to see the best example of success when they come visit you and come see you. That's what they need. So, those are my keys, key points I had to say. But this has been Hold the Truth Hostage. I hope this helped you out. C1, my man, the homie. I hope it has helped. This has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we don't negotiate with lies. Y'all have a safe, happy new year. I hope all is well, and may your family be nice and healthy. If they're with you, if they're not, may you be healthy. May you continue to seek to be the best example of yourself, the most successful example of yourself, the version of yourself that isn't blinded by trends and chasing this and chasing that. You have to be the best example, and you have to be about your existence. Your existence, the purpose comes after existence. You have to be able to exist to have purpose. And what I mean by existence is have to have food, shelter, and the necessities. Then you could chase your purpose, whatever that is, So happy new year, guys, and we're going to keep building. I got big announcements. Pretty soon, you're going to be able to download all these videos as MP3 files on my website. You're going to be able to take it outside of YouTube, outside of this programming site where they limit us. So y'all have a safe one, man. And we're going to keep building. 2021, we're going to be even more successful. We're going to be stronger than ever before. Y'all have a good one. Stay blessed, stay safe. Happy New Year.
They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of